Alright, we'll do the pledge.
Good girl.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Either way, you had the fire.
I like
Oh Lord, as we gather this day to do the important business for the people of the village of VOO, grant us wisdom, compassion, and understanding. Amen.
All right, first item on the agenda, as always, is public comment. Anybody for public comment? Good. Hearing none. Yeah, excellent. Go right along.
We should come
Let's do, we said we do the crop walk first, because they brought some people.
I'm Kelly Goodall, and I coordinate the crop walk with Diane Campbell and Darlene. I'm sure you all know Darlene. And we would like to have the proclamation. Everybody has that proclamation in front of them, I believe. The Crop Hunger Walk Day for October 20th for the village of VOO. And that's one of the things we're here about. The other thing is permission. We are only going to be using the sidewalks to we're going to cross a few streets, and I have checked with John Hitchens, who's the captain of the fire police. He's going to get us 3 persons to help us cross the streets. So do we get one of these signed for us? Is that
Well, so I would move to adopt the proclamation, right, as long as it's legally acceptable.
Right.
See what we do.
Yeah, normally I kind of would come and give this type of thing, but yeah.
A second.
Okay. So we have any discussion on the proclamation, which is, the proclamation reads, whereas healthy food is essential to thriving, to growth, and to prosperous long life, but those without land to grow food or money to buy it are likely to suffer from hunger. And whereas 800 million people around the world are hungry, including 11 to 12% of Americans, and whereas 3.2 million children die from hunger each year, and 66 million primary school-age children around the world go to school hungry. In addition to 1 in 5 American school children who risk going to school hungry. And whereas the Crop Hunger Walk has been organizing cities and towns across America to fight hunger around the world and in their communities for 50 years. And whereas the village of Owego has been part of the Crop Hunger Walk since 1980, raising over $331,013.90 in the fight against hunger. And whereas by participating in the Crop Hunger Walk, we can draw attention not only to the problem of hunger, but also solutions improving the quality of life in all of our neighbors, no matter where they live, and supporting thriving livelihoods for all people. Now therefore, I, Mayor of Owego, do hereby proclaim the October Crop Hunger Walk. So we got to vote on that. Fran?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Mr. Mayor? So, I guess I didn't hear too many things going on at once. So, What is the timing of the walk and the situation of the walk?
2 PM, we start from the St. Pat's Church.
Okay, thanks, I was only there.
That's okay. Perfect.
And so what's the difference between the blue and the red?
The red line is the 1 mile walk, the blue line is a 2 mile walk.
And they're gonna do concurrently, they're gonna go at the same time?
Yes.
Oh, there you go, there's my stuff right there. Okay. And how long you expect it, because I'm fire police, so I'm gonna be getting inspected. The fire police, how long do you expect this to last?
Probably an hour and a half. Or even less, because I think you should be able to walk 2 miles and
You can, honey.
And about-
Not all of us.
So how many I can eat? So I'm gonna eat this today.
so I can tell John that you're volunteering.
Not always volunteers. So we approved the proclamation, we have to approve the walk?
Yeah, do we need a, just do we need a permit?
No, they're on the sidewalk.
Okay.
So does the walk itself need any approval or is it outside of that?
Doesn't sound like it. Because we're not blocking any streets.
Yeah, it's not gonna raise per se.
Right.
Everything else set? So yeah, I think you're all set. Here's the, I signed the proclamation.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you again next year.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I won't be there.
Shut up, you
Unless you
will.
give me a scooter.
Get over there. You can walk with
Give me a
me.
rascal, I'll be there.
I think the caterer, you're taking the reins.
There you go.
Enjoy your meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anything else before department head reports? Start with that, department head reports, that usually gets us going.
That usually fire up somebody. We had 142 calls in September. 2032 is now at CarStar instead of Royal, getting the damage repaired from the accident. It's coming in under at this point, having it done there, and everything's all torn apart, which is a better sign than we've seen from Royal. So they're saying it's not going to be too long before we get that back. And Jeff acquired another ambulance over here this morning so that they could have space for the fire trucks to get the driveway paved. But that didn't happen today, needless to say, because of the rain. But anyway, so that's why that's sitting over here, if anybody's wondering. We're not trying to dump another ambulance. I got a brainstorm that probably wasn't the best, but it actually has followed through well. I don't know if anybody realizes, but Stoughton Farms in North Valley, their Maze this year is celebrating emergency services. So to thank him for honoring us, I have reached out to different agencies to bring apparatus up to his place on the 19th from 11 to 2. We will be providing a fire truck. North Valley will be providing a fire truck. Maine will be providing an ambulance. I've got a meeting with the Sheriff's Department to see about that, as well as the state troopers. Also, I'm going to have a news media there as well to thank them for honoring all of us, and I think that's a nice return for him as well. Like I needed more to do, but it just hit me and I do those things. We had a little bit of concerns about the billing. I've received nasty phone calls from people receiving bills, and it's not just the bills that's got them fired up. They are getting notices with it that they are going to or consequences if they don't pay, and our agreement didn't state that they were going to do that. And I have this one individual that's going to keep me in her correspondence that she keeps receiving, because that was not our deal, and the remark was made, well, the mayor said on TV that we would not have this issue. So I'm trying to keep them calm, and I'm using this woman as an example just so I can follow the process, because they're, it's not going well at this point, because they're threatening collections on them after the first bill coming in. So at this point, I probably had 15 to 20 people contacting me, and I've reassured them that we are checking into it to find out what the actual issue is. I don't have communication with them in regards to all this to be able to fix that. And speaking of fixing that, you know what I'm going to with next is they required all of our providers' licenses and full social security numbers for Medicaid and Medicare, and that's something that should have been done from the beginning. So once again, we have another waiting period before anything's going to be done with Medicaid and Medicare.
Is that, did we get the list?
We got everything that we could possibly get from it. We got people that are out of state. We have, that we've tried every avenue to get. We might be shy maybe 3 at this point. But
Because we can't send it in, without the 3, and then obviously if they're out of state, they're not directly in.
Correct. But, this kind of blindsided us, because all of a sudden it was like, we need this ASAP coming from, over at the village office, and we're like, well, what are you talking about? And so that communication is not good between the billing company or you, or between them or anybody else. I don't know what the deal is and why that fell like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was them or me. I mean, you'd think they've been through this before, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta get that filled in, because that's a lot of our revenue, probably.
Yeah. And as you know, Dr. Raftis is our medical director. They are now requiring that he has a DEA for New York State. You got the paperwork on that?
I was gonna say, did he get that? Because it went to the fire department, Jim gave it to me, I took it to Cindy.
Okay, well, I don't know if Cindy got it or anyway, but originally, Dr. Raftis asked if it would be okay if we paid for half of it. My feeling is we should be paying for all of it, because Dr. Raftis is our medical director. Normal medical directors charge agencies, and he does not. So I think it would behoove us to continue to keep him as a medical director if we would just offer to pay it's going to be between $600 and $800.
So is it?
It's between $600 and $800. When he gets it, I told him to forward it to us so that we could see what everybody's willing to do. But I personally feel, there would be a lot more than that to be paying him to be our medical director. And he needs this certification in order to be in charge of our narcotics with us. That's what this is all about. Anyway, that's what it is.
Part of my ignorance, what is a DEA?
It's a certification for him to monitor our narcotics.
DEA is Drug Enforcement Agency.
Yeah.
He needs a DEA certification.
Yes. They have required him to have it for New York as well. He has it for PA, but now he needs it for New York because of Spawn being our medic. Apparently, he hasn't had it over all this other time, but we do have portables. They're definitely marked so that they know that they no longer belong to anybody else but EMS. They're going to be flaming yellow faces on them, very well marked. The first ones are going to go into the rigs. They should be in there by in the next couple of days because they had to get programmed and whatnot. I guess it's the 23rd at ARC there on Taylor Road. Would like to have us do a touch of truck there on the 23rd. I don't know if you've been notified of that or not, but I just found out about it tonight. It's on a voice message, so we'll just be touching our trucks all over the place.
It's gonna be a busy month.
I didn't know about it either.
We might have fire prevention.
I don't know. I haven't got back with them. Like I said, I just heard the message, so I don't know what the whole deal is. I had the ladies put together a basket for concepts and trauma for us, and we were the most prominent agency there, which was a first, which was nice. And the bag, I gave them $50 to make it, and they auctioned off for $30, so that was a pretty good pretty good profit out of that for them. It just goes to them anyway. Also, I would like to hopefully see on the line items the income of the billing that you guys are obtaining, because there wasn't anything for the $2,000 that was said to be there, just so that we're all rolling on the same page.
Yeah, it should be on this next one.
Okay.
We literally got that day.
Yeah.
It's always a month behind.
We're always a month behind. That's just the way it goes. Other than that, I think we are good. So we have 2 ambulances right now in the bay running, so we're good. And John Morrissey was pleased after I waited until we fixed the boo-boos with the license plates before I notified him. So he was pleased that it was found and corrected.
Yeah, no, that's good enough. Harry, anything else? Rusty?
I want to make sure I understand. If we send in all the information we have, all the licenses and social security numbers of our drivers, we can bill. We don't have, the only people that can't do that then are the only drivers or technicians that can't do it are the ones that haven't sent that in. But we can do it with whatever ones we have. We don't have to have everybody at once.
Correct. Yeah, I asked that question Friday.
Okay.
That's correct.
So we need to, obviously we need to send in what we have immediately.
We already gave that to the village, all the information we sent to them.
And the list is on Friday had a lot of holes.
Yeah.
So but we need to send in whatever list we have, and then we can add more to it later.
Yeah. Anything else? Good.
I have one transfer of companies. I got a member that's transferring from company 5s to company 3s. Member is Nicholas Jerzak. I don't know if you got a vote on transfers. I don't recall. Right.
We only vote on accepting new members or
Building
into
members.
the department.
Department as a whole.
I just want to make sure.
Like a lateral move. Yeah.
We purchased, as we spoke before, the 2 multimeters, which read CO, gas, calibration kit. Training was held, the units are put in service, located on one of our engines in the rescue. We did receive today the $1,000 reimbursement check from the Truman Faulkner grant.
Okay.
The pump repairs were done 801. That truck's back in service, cost about $4,000 to repair that. Station 2's repairs are near completion. The painting is all done inside and out. The parking lot will be repaved tomorrow. The only thing we got left to do is fix the gutters. That station will pretty much be brand new. We'll be holding Fire Prevention Week at OES on the 18th of October. I'd like to ask permission to hold a candy check station at station number 3. We do this every year, supported by OPD, and Charles was there last year, so I'd like to ask permission to do that again.
I think you already did.
Halloween. October 31st.
Is that what it is this year?
Never do.
Change it this year.
We vote on that?
We can. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
I'd make a motion then.
Okay.
I'll second.
What day is that?
So let's go on. What day of the week?
Friday.
Or
Saturday.
Thursday.
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 Thursday on that calendar.
Thursday?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. As Robin stated, we'll be attending Touch a Truck at Stoughton's Farm on 10/19. The mayor signed the agreement for the tablets through Verizon. That's part of our I Am Responding system, part of the AgShark grant. So now that that's signed, our tablets should be rolling in pretty quickly. They'll be installed in the apparatus. What that does is not only does it show if you're going out of town where you're going, also has all our hydrants marked in the village and outside the village. So if, let's say we went to North Valley, we can map their hydrants so we can find out where the closest hydrant is. Vice versa, they're coming to the village to help us once they get their tablets up and running. I think we will be the first in the county to have tablets. So, pump testing, the trucks, basically that recertifies all the pumps. It's going to be held on the 12th. We're going to be doing it out front here. Hose and ladder testing will be held on the 17th. And SCBA hydro testing will be held on the 23rd. Calls for September, we had 3 fire alarms, 1 carbon monoxide, 1 motor vehicle accident, 1 public service call, 1 mutual aid, which was a car into a house that caught on fire, 3 vehicle fires, 2 EMS assists, so 12 calls for September. That's all I had.
We do have fun with firefighters on the 20th.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll make a flyer still.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you have in there? You got,
Donuts and cider.
okay. Well, I gotta know what our food choices are, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like donut, cider, bounce house.
Right. I got the bounce houses, VFW already.
It was popcorn with paramedics. We knew it was popsicles with police, so we
No,
just
fun.
didn't.
We're gonna do the fire thing, but we thought it might be too much of a liability.
Fireballs with a fire department?
And it is, did you say fireball?
Fireball.
It is fire prevention month. So it all ties in okay, I think.
Mr. Mayor, do we want to encumber that money now, or we do that later?
I would say we should do that now.
Yeah, we can close out the fire department stuff.
Brandon, do you?
So this is on your agenda. What we're gonna do, last meeting we covered a bunch of stuff from the end of the year. This one we missed because, it's actually,
It's buried in a grant.
yeah, it's part of the grant, we just wanna make sure that they get to spend this $12,000 this year's budget. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna encumber that, that goes into the budget. They've already got the money, like a check, and I just want to encumber it so they don't have to use it out of last year's money, or this year's money. It's last year's money.
Move to encumber $12,533.02 from the 20,000 grant for the fire department.
I'll second that.
Okay. Anybody have any discussion on that? We'll vote for him.
Yes.
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 And yes. And I have one question for the fire department that I got from a resident. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. The water guy's not here. Why do we not flush our hydrants like everyplace else that you see?
That's their responsibility, not
Well,
ours.
the water company? That was true.
They own,
Or why do they flush hydrants? Just to cycle the water?
they usually do it. I haven't seen them do it in a long time.
Here, I'll get the water company. That's it. Anything else?
Is it?
Tracy?
No, well, if you want to talk about the leak.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
So today we found a pretty big leak in Station Company 4's room, top of the station.
Leak, what?
Water leak.
Yeah, I got a video if you want to see it.
Yeah, so basically it's leaking from the clock tower, inside the clock tower, down through the roof.
Yeah.
Not part of the ceiling down, it is in the light fixture as well, so kind of have a fire hazard there.
Yeah.
We'll make some phone calls tomorrow, see if we can get a contractor over there, but
Yeah, and this somewhat ties into one of the presentations I was gonna do tonight. We're probably gonna push to a different meeting about the DRI. We got $439,000 to fix that exactly. So we don't have it yet, is the problem, and the ceiling's falling in.
Is the water still in motion now? Is it doing?
yeah, we have a pail catching it. Well, practically, but
So if the village is responsible for that, can we bond for it? And that seems like a reasonable thing to do, right?
We would want to ask the state, I mean, yes, we could, but we want to ask the state because if we spend money and do work now,
We want to make
we
sure
want to
we're
make sure we get it
reimbursed.
back. And there's a timing thing there.
Okay.
That was my question, whether or not, since we were awarded the DRI money, whether or not, because we have an emergency repair, we could start repairing that.
Being an emergency, we may gotta get a hold of them and figure something out.
Yeah.
We should do that
I think it's tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we gotta fix it one way, we gotta fix it whether we're gonna get that money or not.
This week, apparently I'm hearing about 5 o'clock today.
Oh, because of rain all
I got a
day.
video, yeah.
Do you know when offhand you would be due that money from?
We've been awarded it, just in the process. They're supposed to have it sometime this winter, but the official.
Okay. So, well, that's a pretty fast turnaround. So it'd be in your hands before the end of the year, theoretically?
Theoretically.
Okay.
We have, sorry.
You can do, if you wanted to, the repairs need to be done now, and you need to outlay that money now. You don't necessarily have to issue serial bonds. You could do like a bond anticipation note, like short-term financing, for like a year or whatever. If that.
Yeah, I'll call, Julie Sweet's our state rep, and I'll call her tomorrow and explain the situation.
Yeah.
We have Abby here for doing the DRI presentations. You can say something quick maybe about the fire station.
Yeah, I know contracts, we're getting contracts now. So I know the IDA has gotten theirs recently. So I would call Leanne tomorrow and talk to her about pushing forward. I mean, I don't know if, I haven't read that one in a while, but the scope of work can change. So call her tomorrow and just give her a heads up about what's going on, and I'll tell her too, and then we'll just start moving forward. Some of the projects can move forward a little quicker.
Right.
And there's sort of two issues. The one is, we want to get the full funding from the grant, but
Yes.
the other piece is, if we're spending $10,000 right now, we probably should do that to make sure that there's, no further damage.
Right.
You might be 210,000.
I was just thinking about a bucket of tar and
The problem is, we went the roof today, went to the clock tower, and it's rotted.
yeah.
We get a serious storm, there's a good possibility that the clock tower comes down.
Especially now with the roof.
So,
Yeah.
Just gonna go into the room.
not only you got leak, you got
Not sleeping in
liability.
that room.
Yeah, right.
Mara climbed the roof with me tomorrow.
Ron did once. I made it 90% of the way up there.
6 months ago, and I'm sure it's just worse now.
Yeah. That's horrible.
I think there's a weight limit on that.
So I understand, you're gonna get a hold of the state, we're gonna find out about the RI, find out if we can do this under that. But assuming, whether we can or whether we can't, we're not gonna meet again for 2 weeks. We're gonna need to take some action before that time. So whatever has to be done, if we have to do anything here tonight, we need to do it.
I would say we don't know yet, so we probably should wait and schedule a meeting.
Emergency meeting,
Before we
yeah.
have to get there, probably.
Okay.
Which we can do, we need a day or 2 hours. Be prepared next. So we try to get back together again. Yeah, we'll have to get something done there, at least to get, the damage stopped. I can see. Okay. Anything else?
That is it, sir.
You all should have a copy of my progress report. Above that, the engineers have heard back on the process of accepting leachate. They come back with, and just all they've heard so far is a proposal for the equipment to upgrade the EQ tank over to a pre-treatment tank. It's $411,000 for the equipment only. Above and beyond that, there would have to be, engineering done, SCADA tie-ins, electric. Their ballpark figure is in the $1 million range to upgrade the tank. To accept leachate. And there's still some question on how much we will be able to accept at that. They're still working on those numbers. So that's just a preliminary where we're at with that. There more to come as I get it. So on that. Septic hauling, sludge hauling, we had on our permit to take it to the farm, it's 120 dry ton on our limit. We've reached that limit and we're still full right to the gills at the barn. So we need to get rid of that elsewhere. I did reach out to DEC to see if we could get the limit extended. The reason we have a lot more sludge this year than normal is we're trying to keep the digesters as low as possible because they're going to have to be disabled sometime around the first of the year for the upgrade. So I was hoping the state would cut us a little slack because it's an upgrade issue that's causing the excessive sludge. They say the only way we can get that 120 dry ton change would be to do a modification to our permit, which would take some time for us to submit, them to review and approve. By the time we got the approval back, if we got it, which I think we could, the ground would be froze up. We can't spread on frozen ground. So that's not an option. So the only option is to take it to landfill. My best guess estimate on what we have is about 500 ton over there to deal with, wet ton. Dixon Environmental, I talked to them before they were charging us 75 a ton. I asked if they could cut us some deal. They could take it down to 65 a ton. That includes the tipping fee and the trucking. So again, the 500 tons anywhere near accurate. It's right around $32,500 to get rid of that. That way, the other option would be they're going to be taking it to Steuben County landfill. So we reached out to Steuben County. They don't have an issue if we truck it there ourselves. I talked to Jeff about borrowing his larger dump truck and trucking it, and then it would be just the $36 plus the fuel and stuff to truck it. So, you know, the tipping fee would be roughly $18,000 for the 500 ton. And then, you know, it's Steuben County though, it's 82 mile one-way trip. You know, Jeff's never checked mileage, so I can't give you any, true number on what the mileage is going to, fuel costs would be that many trips. It's going to be, the amount of trips it's going to take the 500 ton. No, they're only taking 10 ton at a time. It's going to be a lot of trips. It's going to be well over 8,000 miles back and forth to get it there. So, but it's basically half the price if we do it ourselves. So, but we've got to get rid of it,
You don't have an estimate on the mileage of that big dump?
No, the only thing we ever do with the big dump is plow and salt, and that's my other problem is.
Right,
We got
yeah, doing this,
a big storm, he's not gonna be moving his stuff, because that's the only truck that'll fit our big spreader.
Right, that's why I'm hoping to get the ball rolling and get some of it out of there at least before we start into the weather issue where we, because by all means the storm comes through, or as one's predicted, it's going to be brought back here and salt spreaders have to be mounted and, my guys would work with his guys as far as getting that done, in a timely manner to get it ready for storms, but.
Do you have anything in your budget for this kind of, no?
No.
Yeah.
No, it just, kind of was unforeseen, I didn't expect we were going to be producing this much more sludge just by keeping things, down in the digesters. So we didn't foresee any, excess like this.
Too bad they don't have Uber trucking.
Mr. Mayor?
Rusty?
Jeff, how much trouble is this gonna be? We're gonna wear a dump truck out, blah, 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 if we start to try to do this.
8,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And a lot of hours.
Should we, since the dump truck is we're not using it as any particular thing right this moment,
Right.
should we immediately start and do this a few times just to get ahead of the thing? Should we, we could start, that's a possibility, we could start.
Get 10 loads out of there.
Do 10 loads, that's 10 loads, we don't want to pay 76 for it or later or whatever, and we can also see how it's going. We can always hire the other guys for however much we have to do it later, right?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Would that be the way to do it, to start now?
We had to have some testing done regardless if Dixon's hauls it or us to landfill. Kind of amazed me that the testing that we do to take it to the land and apply it to crop fields wasn't sufficient to put it in the landfill. They had to have further tests done. The sludge was sent out last Wednesday for that testing, So either way, we gotta wait until that's back in Steuben County landfill, looks at those results and approves us, but.
We did try to get Broome County to take it.
Right.
Because they take it within the county, and they won't take anything from outside the county.
And they're 32 miles away. It'd be so much quicker and easier. We also reached out to what was the Chemung County landfill in Lauman. They sold out to Casellas, and they wouldn't accept it there either. Which I heard today that they own one way up north, and they accept it up there. So that kind of thought, why? But so it's not that, we've explored other options. Like I say, Jeff reached out to Broome County. I reached out to him, got nowhere, so I had Jeff reach out, and this is our only option that we can find so far is all the way to Steuben County to get rid of it.
How much do we produce a month on this? I mean, if we don't start soon, how much are we gonna accumulate on top of this 500 ton?
We're probably producing per month. We're probably around 15 ton a month or 16, somewhere's in there.
Right, so we're gonna run out of room to put this.
Yeah,
I've been there, it's very full.
we're full.
How much does the place where we put it hold?
Well, like I say, I'm guessing there's 500 ton there, and it only hold, maybe 550 at the most, and then it'll be just literally oozing out the doors and everything else, so.
We gotta do something.
We gotta do something as soon as possible.
Is this right now, or do we have the 2 weeks as we're waiting to get the results and waiting for Steuben's results? Do we have 2 weeks till our next meeting to
Yeah, we've had 2 weeks. It may be that long before we get the test results and everything, and and get that.
In the meantime, we're gonna sniff more possibilities. I know you sniff Broome and you sniff this and that, but just keep sniffing.
I don't know where else there is, like Seneca Meadows, all the way up. But
Anything in Pennsylvania?
I'm not familiar with any, landfills in PA or anything. Anyone contact, I can see what I can try to find there. But
Closer to Steuben County.
so,
a couple of weeks to keep looking.
I can get Fred to maybe put some more